EZNZ podcast. It is that time of year. We are now officially in December, so it's Christmas time. Christmas decorations are up. It's raining in New Zealand. Apparently there's a slim chance we could get a white Christmas, even though it's meant to be summer here, so a lot is going on.
It won't happen. I would love for it to happen.
But it mentioned it on the news. Today started with thunderstorms. It's a weird time for summer. But in the lead up to Christmas, there's a lot we want to talk about.
Yeah, I've got a Christmas tree in my house.
Do you?
First Christmas tree for the house.
Oh, that's nice.
It's very small.
Fun fact.
I did not want a big Christmas tree.
Fair. I am an absolute Grinch and I don't particularly care for Christmas. None of my family are getting gifts this year.
Yeah.
But if they were, we're going to share with you guys some things that either we already have and we really love and we think that everyone should have as things for Christmas.
Yeah.
Or something that we have seen that we really wish that we had. So we are going to share 12 of our favourite things for 12 days of Christmas over the coming weeks of the podcast. So a lot happening, a lot going on.
So we'll do four new things each podcast.
Yeah.
Right up until, of course, Christmas.
We go on holiday, have some time with our families and all of that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So where shall we start? Do you want to kick us off today?
I can kick us off.
I'm putting you on the spot. Off you go, my friend.
We didn't plan it this way. Just gonna point that out. You were meant to start.
That's fine.
I'm gonna go with one that I think everybody could use. Anyone who has a Windows computer, anyone who has kids, anyone who has who goes to school, who does some sort of study, anyone who signs paper, and that is a digital pen. And I'm not just talking about the Surface Pen here. I'm not just talking about the Surface Pen because there's so many different digital pens out there. I have in my hands a Wacom and bamboo pen. We'll show you a little closer up image. I'll promise and make Hannah's life harder. No worries, just what I do. But this is something that I think some people might be like, but why would you get that for Christmas? And I think it's something that you have to think about what you might buy a creative person. Because I know for a long time I brought a lot of my cousins paintings, stuff, different pens, the 2B pen and the other ones that I don't know.
See, I'm probably going to steal your thunder here, but I'm just such a firm believer in gift giving is that you buy someone something that they really want that they're probably not going to actually buy themselves.
Absolutely, and I think this is a perfect example of this because I'm going to start with creatives, but we're not going to pigeonhole the product into there.
Absolutely.
For creators, I think a lot of them may not have actually thought to actually get a digital pen before. So they might use, a proper Wacom tablet. They might just not use anything and do it traditionally. But it's so easy to create digital art nowadays. You can even watch people watch streams of people who do it. I've done that because it was really, really interesting.
Some of them are incredible, just what people can create, amazing time lapses of real life drawings.
So awesome. But this we were talking about, paintings and pens and pencils and canvases. Giving someone a digital pen if they've got a Windows 10 device already, it's giving them all that in one. It's just using it in a new medium. So, you get your different line thickness. You've got, in the free kind of key pens I'm going to talk about, which is the bamboo pen, the HP pen, and the Surface Pen, they're all, how many points of pressure, Hannah?
4,096.
Exactly, so they're all right up there in that point of pressure, so they're incredibly accurate when someone's using them. But even if you're not an artist, say you're wanting to get one maybe for your dad, your mum, for what they do for work, just to make things easier around the home. Maybe you've got someone in your life who's always calling you for tech advice. Maybe they're printing too much and scanning too much.
Don't we all have
and
those
buying
people?
So much ink. And this would sort their trouble because whatever they're doing, they most likely will be able to, edit the document by putting their initials on it, signing it. I did that a lot when I was building the house. We do that with work all the time. We have people in programs we run who do it because they've got to sign off forms to say they've got devices.
And I think that the thing with digital ink is that it's developed so much over time. Fun fact, it's now officially 5 years. I've been saying about 5 years, but 5 years ago today I started my job, which is super exciting. And I won't lie, and I think I've said it before on the podcast, that digital inking 5 years ago kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And like, that's just me being honest. It was really cool. It was amazing to have that functionality, to sign a document, to do all of that kind of thing. But I know at that point in time, like, some creators kind of got on the bandwagon and then they abandoned it.
Yeah.
Because they weren't getting that same kind of thing. So when you're looking at things like the Surface Pen in particular, having that tilt support, being able to get that real functionality.
I'm going to stop you there.
Stop me right there.
I'm going to stop you there because the reason I chose the HP Pen, the Bamboo Pen, and the Surface Pen are because they're all Microsoft certified.
Wonderful.
So they all do, have the same kind of functionality, right down to particularly the HP one now has been upgraded for tilt support. They've got the same points of pressure. They all automatically will work as PowerPoint clickers.
Yes.
Keep going now.
Yeah.
But that's why I chose
Let me
those
stop
three.
and correct you.
Because
I think that's such an awesome thing, right? And I think that digital ink has been adopted by a lot of people because it's been adapted.
Yeah.
But I think, in the last 5 years, where it started and where it's come from, like I think the first Surface Pen was something like 256 points of pressure. Yeah, up to 4,096. Like, that difference is like totally mind-blowing. So the two just aren't the same thing. So I think that if we're going with something that maybe they want to test out, but maybe they've heard negative things about it, so they're not going to invest that money themselves, I think that is such an awesome gift for Christmas.
Absolutely.
What is your favourite thing you use digital ink for, Fletch?
I'm going to be honest, and it's the really basic thing of editing PDFs and signing stuff. Because everyone does it.
Yeah.
But it honestly saves me time. I have a printer. I haven't set it up since I've moved into the
home. Wow.
And
you moved in what, the end of July?
Yeah. So I've been in there 4 months now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just don't need it.
And it's funny, sure, it's something that you don't necessarily do often. But I just remember before kind of getting on board with the digital ink thing, anytime I had to sign something, I didn't have a printer, so I had to go out somewhere and get it printed. Then I had to go, sign it on the spot and get it scanned somewhere else or take photos of it. And just so many kind of, I guess, pain points of the way that people do things. And I'm just amazed, and kind of, dealing with people from the external companies and stuff, and when they send something through and say, please print this out and send back to me, I'm like,
absolutely.
No, buddy, I've got a better way. So whether it's something really small like that, or, really big in terms of creating art, or doing all of those kinds of things, I think it's an absolute game changer, and one of those kind of real simple things that allows you to work smarter, not harder, and be better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just going to shout out, because I want to shout out and draw attention to this. The new HP pens charge with USB-C, so they've got an internal battery. So we're continuing to develop. That gives us an idea of where we can go, as well as getting more points of pressure and everything like that. So very excited. But what's yours?
So many awesome things. All right, I'm going to start off with the Xbox Elite controller. And we all know this year has been a big year in my personal and professional development and becoming a gamer and playing Xbox. And that road for me actually started with an Elite controller. And I just think that, sure, you get a free controller in the box, and I'm not bagging the Xbox controller. I know for so many people it is hands down their favourite controller across the market. It's super popular, but there's just something so special about an Elite controller.
Yeah.
Last week on the podcast we played PUBG and Fortnite, and I am going to admit that I've played Fortnite more than I care to admit. Since then I have spent a lot of time and dedicated a lot of hours to it. In fact, we've even got 2 Xboxes currently set up in my house, and Graham and I are playing it together daily. So we have the one Elite controller at home, which is my controller, obviously. And then, so kind of we've got that on the coffee table, and then a standard controller. And Graham picked up mine the other day and he just goes, what is this? Tell me more about it. Just the extra weight to it, I know is your kind of number one favorite thing about it.
The extra weight is awesome. There's something else that's really good. I'll let you talk though.
No,
I don't want to.
No, interrupt me. Go for it.
I notice you've got this set to a specific setting. So not only do you have all that customization, which I know you're going to talk about, but playing Fortnite and games like PUBG, being able to activate the hair trigger. I'm going to change it right now. Out of the hair trigger, because I told you you set this up, and just feel it. Go and feel it. It'll feel 100% different. It'll feel so unusual to you now.
Yeah, because, that's really weird.
Obviously for games like Fortnite and PUBG where you're doing a lot of shooting, you want that hair trigger so you don't have to pull so hard So it gives you like that little millisecond faster, which like if you game, you know that matters.
And like I'm coming to learn this, and like just watching, like when you get killed on Fortnite, you can watch other people play, and just watching other people being like, how are they doing this? This is incredible. This is amazing. And like some of the customization that you can do on this to kind of better your experience and make you appear like a better player. Is also very, very cool. So, being able to take pretty much everything off and change it to what best suits you. I have very small childlike hands, so, just having that reach across the controller, being able to customize those back pedals as well to do,
I use those a lot in Madden.
Yeah.
So, when you're playing Madden, sorry, I'm stealing fun. We're both very passionate.
When we said that we were going to talk about this, it's like, I'm going to talk about the Elite controller, and Fletcher just goes, you're what? And then he goes, I suppose we can both talk about it. So.
But like in sports games and Madden and stuff, in particular for me, when you're like trying to run with a player, I've got my hands like this because I need to do the right trigger for making them accelerate faster. I need to control where they're moving, and I need to control the step moves and stuff like that with this button. So automatically,
I can just tell you are all over it. You're very much just like, these are my things.
All automatically, that means I've got one finger in a prime position to use the directional pad. And I know some people actually like hold their controllers like this and stuff, but I don't.
Wow.
That is uncomfortable. So these buttons on the bottom are linked to your buttons up here. Of course, you can customize them, but I want them to be linked to the buttons there, because then I've got 4 fingers, one for every button, so I can, in Madden, it's a stiff arm, a spin move, a hurdle, and a dive. And I can do all of those things, as well as step, as well as accelerate, as well as chuck the ball higher or lower, as well as do left trigger so I can do special moves. So I can hit literally every button on this besides a directional pad at the same time.
That's very cool. That's very, just if you didn't need any more information, there you go. And that's it, right? And something I didn't know, obviously we're talking about the way that you can customize it and stuff, but there is a weird button on the front of it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you didn't know what I was talking about. There's this thing in the middle here.
To change the controller.
Yeah. And I kind of looked at it and I was like, I wonder what that does. And so like I kind of clicked it side by side and like touched things. It's like nothing's different. But you may have watched our podcast from about a month ago. Where we managed to get Eric an adaptive controller. And on that you have different options, so you can set it up to customize it to different games, and you can do that with 2 steps, 2 different customized options on this.
Copilot. So you Copilot, and like even if you were playing a game with a mate, and for some reason he was a primary player, like you know how when you're on an Xbox and you're playing something like Halo, you can have like a guest account made, but if they disappear, you could actually swap to their player. It'll allow you to swap to
and if you have it set up like one way to play an NFL game and then another way to play PUBG, you can easily swap between the 2, so you're not having to, any game you go into, just go through and change it and be like, damn, this isn't what I wanted for this one. So really nice and easy to be able to go through all of those different steps. So what's next, Fletch?
What's next?
Or do you have more on the Elite controller?
No, I don't have more on the Elite controller, but I do. Have another Xbox one. Yeah. So we haven't really, we've talked about it once, I think, but we haven't really given it much love. And I want to talk about the stereo headset, the Xbox stereo headset, because like I have a few headsets at home. I do. Because I did need to get one for like PC when I was a kid, and then I needed to get one for different consoles. But the cool thing about the Xbox stereo headset is not only does it like work on computer and on Xbox, but it's a really good price for what you get. So stereo means it's 2.1 channel. So in reality, when like different headsets say they're 7.1 or whatever, they only make it appear that way. Like so 7.1 channel headsets, you'd have to have a USB cord. If it just comes with auxiliary cable, fun fact, it can only ever do 2.1 channels. Just a little bit of technical information there. But this is packed with awesome features like something called a unidirectional mic. What that means is the mic only picks up sound from one direction. So where would it face? Your mouth.
Your mouth, yeah, that's super helpful. And I bet that like Steph appreciates that, right? Like if you're hanging out playing Xbox and she's like doing something in the kitchen or
she doesn't
just
want to
around
hear
the
our
house,
going on.
Yeah, so she's not coming in like into the house and like trying to talk to you and being like, can your friends hear me? I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. Like she knows she's safe. Little things like the left and the right side being marked out. The way that the earmuffs actually move, they're on like little bearings, so they can angle quite easily.
Yeah.
And obviously I can't show you this, but when I put this on, it's not noise cancelling, but it's very well does a really good job at like passively blocking out that noise.
Sure.
So I can barely hear Hannah when she's talking with these on. The
you
other
probably
thing,
want to wear them all the time.
All the time. That's because they're over ear. Thank you. Production value.
And the Christmas image disappeared.
That's because they're ones that cover your ear. They don't just go on ear, so they're over ear. And that also means, to me, they're way more comfortable. When you're wearing on-ear headphones, when you're gaming, you generally lose track of time when you're gaming. And it gets really uncomfortable because you're constantly pushing down. So I've got a big head, and it means I've got decent size, pretty big ears and stuff like that. So it's pretty comfortable. Like that's a genuine
I've got a
thing.
big head, so I've got big ears.
I've got big ears. It's like when I used to sell not just gaming headsets but normal headsets. That's something that people genuinely concerned about and wanted.
Yeah.
So this to me meets, for the price it is, most of the boxes that people will look for. It meets all my boxes personally. So great value for what it is. But one more humble shout out.
Yeah.
So these stereo headsets come with like an Xbox headset controller.
Yeah.
So this,
I did wonder.
Oh my god, it's one of the best inventions ever. So you plug the headset into here, and then it actually slots into the bottom of your controller. We didn't even plan this, but this works so well. So it plugs into here, and so it sits on your controller like that. The amazing thing about this, and anyone who's played with friends before will love it, is you can mute your mic. So I can mute myself with one button without, when I want to have my personal chat with Steph and see how she is when she gets home.
Nice.
I can really easily put up the volume and take the volume down on here as well. Which, like, when
if someone's dying and they're yelling into a headset, that's an important thing to be able to do.
Super, super important. And it's got options for, like, accessing your party info or accessing your, in-game party info as well. So instead of having to, like, pause your game or go hide in a corner to do a lot of these things, you can just hit these buttons to do it.
Super easy, super nice.
Which
you have, but there's one more thing I would like you to mention.
What's that?
Put them on, Fletch, and show us where the microphone is.
Okay, cool. So really, really stylish. So I put this on.
Yeah.
And
super easy, and I know that a lot of headsets do that, but a lot of the very expensive headsets do that. So being able to have that as an option, so if you want to use them just as headphones, they have that auxiliary port, you can plug them into not your iPhone. So being able to go through and not walk around with a microphone out permanently, I think is obviously really awesome.
Really, really cool. And I've got a limited edition one here, because that's what we kind of had on hand to show off. There's tons of limited edition styles you can get. These are the Armored Forces, I believe. You can just get black ones. You can get a whole bunch of customized options, just like our controllers. You can get them to match too.
Super cool, super cool. So that's obviously, and I think, the limited edition controllers, whether it be the limited edition headsets or a limited edition controller, if you want to get it to match, if you've got someone in your family who loves Halo, once again, that's the kind of thing that they really, really would love to have, but they're probably not going to want to spend all that money.
Absolutely.
It's quite a hard purchase to justify, so a super awesome gift to get for Christmas.
People even just like having spare ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people who have a lot of controllers, and I've always thought, why? But just having, a pretty cool lineup. I saw a good friend of ours, Jude Lynch from Ireland. He's actually been mentioned on the podcast before, but he's built a really cool coffee table with like a glass area. And within that you can like see into the coffee table, and he's kind of made it almost like a display for all of his Xbox controllers. But obviously that's a really easy place to like pick them up and grab them as well.
So that's
really cool.
We should
really,
ask
really
him
cool.
for a picture.
Yeah.
Just for us. The last thing I'll mention, like, in terms of saying that people have a lot of headsets, a lot of people have wireless headsets which have batteries, and people don't charge them. So
I'm guilty of that. I have a great pair of Bluetooth headphones. Love them. They're fantastic. I haven't used them in about 2 months because I haven't charged them.
Exactly. So this is just runs off the cable. So you're good. Like,
you're good.
Great backup.
Awesome, excellent. While we're talking about Xbox as well, we're talking about Christmas stuff. We do have one more thing to share with you. One more awesome gift to share with you, but it is Christmas, and Microsoft have made, I think maybe my favourite Christmas ad this year. I'm talking about something that we've talked a lot about, and it's very dear to my heart. So I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but please, if you haven't seen it already, do watch this amazing holiday ad, because it is beautiful and very special about the meaning of Christmas.
He's gonna do it! You gotta see this! Oh, he's gonna do it! Come on, come on! He's gonna do it! Alright, come around. I got him. Nice. Come on. Yeah, let's go. Alright. So how about another game?
Beautiful. It hits you right in the feels. Like every Christmas ad is, I guess, designed to do that. But you know, when everybody plays, everybody wins. It's just so nice. And I think, you know, and what we're talking about today, I think kind of went with the theme of that. But lucky last in our 4 things for our 12 days of 12 gifts for Christmas, or whatever we're going to call it, is one of my personal favourite things, and it is the precision mouse. I have talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again because I love a good mouse. I love nothing more than a good mouse, and this is my favourite mouse. I have many mice.
You have a lot of mice.
I have too many mice, to be fair.
You could make that coffee table and display your mice.
And display all of my mice options. But this has very quickly become my favourite. And I accidentally left it at home the other day coming to work, and I nearly went home and got it because I had a lot to do. But interestingly, I never used to be an external mouse person. It was only probably within the last 2 years I used to just be a trackpad kind of person. So I think that me caring so much about a mouse is kind of strange. But an old favourite of mine used to be the ergonomic mouse, and I think that this is a great step forward.
I agree.
Or a step in a similar direction. I hope you can see this. I'm so excited. I think the precision mouse, it is higher up in price, but it is priceless. I think that it is so absolutely worth it in terms of comfort, in terms of usability. There's a really cool button here so you can change how your scroll wheel feels. You've got buttons on the side to go back and forward and all kinds of things.
Customizable for games.
For games,
like if you're a stylish businessman and want a good mouse to take around with you, a good mouse to be incredibly comfortable to use. But you also want to do a bit of gaming. Great mouse. Honestly,
great mouse.
That's what I use.
Great
all the
mouse.
time.
And I have 3 other favourite things about this, which I think shouldn't go unnoticed. So the day that I forgot my mouse, I was like, it's okay. I had another mouse in my locker at work. That mouse you can't turn off.
Yes, that's actually.
And so I hadn't used it for a long time, and the batteries had died in it, so it was really annoying. You can turn this bad boy on and off. I know that sounds really lame, but it's super helpful. Another great thing about this is that this mouse does not take batteries. It is rechargeable through micro USB. So really nice and easy. You can also use it while you are charging it as well, which is super, super nice.
It's got a long cable.
It's got a really long cable and a really high quality cable, which comes in the box with it. So those are another 2 favourite things about it, but probably one of my most favourite, and I honestly, there's probably other mice out there that do it, but I haven't seen it, is that you can pair this to up to 3 devices at once.
There's not many mice that
please in the comments feel free to tell me other ones, because I think that
the only ones I know of are there's an HP accessories do it as well.
Okay.
But yeah, this is
amazing, and I know that sounds really weird, but I kind of go between using 2 different devices. I use my Surface Book 2 all the time, and a Surface Pro 6 as well. So going between those 2, being able to not, bring out my mouse and then be like, oh, I've got to, unpair it from this one and then repair it to that one. If I have both devices there, it kind of figures out which one I'm primarily using, but really nice and easy to set it up. Swift pair, I know is something that you love talking about. So with Windows 10, if you basically, yes, Fletcher does love trolling people, but basically if you turn on a new Bluetooth device around a Windows 10 device with Swift pair enabled, it will pop up saying, we've detected this thing. So really nice and easy, instead of sure, it's easy enough to go through your settings, but you get it out of the box,
it's so much faster.
Bam, there you go, good to go. So I think that's
our 4
about
gifts
so far for Christmas. Obviously it is the festive season, so we've got a lot more to talk about.
Oh, we've got 8 more things.
We've got 8 more things to talk about, to be precise, in the lead up to Christmas. But as usual, we'd absolutely love to hear some of your favourite things, even some of your favourite Christmas gifts that you've ever received. That's going to be our question of the week next week, where we're going to talk about that, because I can't think of anything on the spot. But we'll think about it, and we will see you guys next week.